now for a preview of this week's Prattville Lions football game. It's the Coach J.B. Wallace Show, coming to you live from Rock's Famous Barbecue in Prattville. Tonight's show is powered by Larry Puckett Chevrolet, by Durbin Auto Parts, Prattville Outdoors, Arrow Pest Control, and by Buffalo Rock Pepsi. Now, let's go live to Rock's Famous Barbecue for tonight's Coach J.B. Wallace Show.
And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Robert Strichick. I'm pinch hitting once again tonight. And speaking of pitch hitting, we'll have a little baseball coming up in a little bit. But we're up here at famous Rock's Barbecue. It smells so good, Coach. And I'm probably going to have to take a rack home with me. But I'm so excited to be here. The first time that I got to do the game this year or do the show this year, we were down in the stadium, which was a lot of fun. But now I'm up here at all this food and hickory. And
take a quick break.
And I tell you what, but we'll push on. We'll push through. We got some special guests tonight with the basketball program. We got Tony Brown who's going to join us in a little bit. We got head baseball coach Kevin Hall coming up in just a little while. And we got our Sports Clips player of the game, Josh Browder. But we'll have a little chat with him a little bit later. But right now, Coach, let's go in and let's go in last week for just a little bit. We didn't get the W. It was an area game with a very, very talented Auburn team. The one thing I came out of that night with is, we go down 27-0 just like that. We go into the locker room at halftime, 27-0. We come out with our hair on fire in the third quarter, get right back in the game, and we end up dropping the game by one score. So, give us your take on that night.
Yeah, you mentioned it, man. We got started off real slow, and that's something that we pride ourselves on not doing. We want to start fast, but couldn't get a rhythm offensively, defensively, or special teams. They came out and scored first, of course, and we failed to answer back. And, we went attempted a field goal, didn't get that. And things were just rocky in the first half. And it took us, coming back from halftime to be able to get back on page and get it done. Our guys were resilient and all that kind of stuff. We had key guys step up for us to help us make plays to get back in the ball game. Playing against a team as talented as Auburn or any team, 27-0. That's a huge responsibility to be able to get back in the ball game. But we were able to do so. Lesson learned there. We know as a team we can't get in that hole like that.
No, we can't. But like I said, the resilience and the character of our guys. We could have easily just said, let's just finish off these last 24 minutes and take it to the house. But they didn't. In the first half, we have a hand go through Cam's hands and hits their guy right in the gut. I still don't think he even saw it. And that's the turnover resulting in points. We lose our other Cam. He gets hurt, our quarterback, but, Josh comes in and just brings us back. And we come out in the third quarter and we're moving the ball. We hit the slant there to Shanks, and he takes it to the house, and then the crowd gets into it. And it was one of the loudest crowds I can remember in some time. I mean, we really, we were like you just had that feel. We were just one stop away on defense from just tying this thing up or taking it to overtime. And
while in that second half, there were a couple fumbles that I felt like I wish we could have got. That ball was moving around the running back's hands several times. Our defense was pulling at it, trying to get it out, and that ball moved several times. One time it came out and he recovered it.
Yep.
Those breaks like that, they don't bounce your way all the time. But our guys, hats off to our guys for working and trying to make that happen for us right there in the second half. And we were able to get our run game going. With Mario Parks, he popped one as well. And, so key slant, like you mentioned, to Cam Shanks from Browder, which all those were helping put us back in the game. And man, we had momentum. And these games like that, it's all about momentum, who can get momentum and who can keep momentum. And once we got momentum, we were hard to deal with in the second half. And I think that's ultimately why they went to fake that punt. They don't fake that punt. They kick that ball to us. It gets real interesting. We have a chance to stop that,
We stopped that right there in midfield.
Yes,
and
sir.
You're right. And I'm not a clairvoyant or anything, but I was sitting next to my guy, Gray Penton, and I said, Gray, they're going to fake it. but like it was a 4th and 3. He's like, I said, I think I remember them faking about this part of the field in the past. And, they just gutted it up the middle. It was a great call by them. We had them on the ropes. It's one of those, we play 4 quarters like we did. We played for 2. We walk away with that game.
Yeah.
But it's the nuts. But, that's football. Part of the guys kept fighting, overcome injuries. The penalties, I know you're not happy about some of the penalties we may have had.
Right.
And I know y'all continue to work on those things at practice.
Right. Yeah, that's something that we continue to work on every week. A lot of it sometimes is a judgment call, but, if your kid is in position to make a play and if he's doing or attempting to doing what he's coached to do, nobody's perfect. Sometimes those calls don't go your way, but, you don't change the way you plan him if he's playing it correctly. It's all about which angle they saw it from, like some of these pass interference we've seen in the past.
We've seen a few. But, it's such an emotional game, football especially. It's because, and I remember I talked to Kotcher before the game. I said, hey, you come out like a rabid dog, but let's stop at the whistle. I know it's hard for you. Let's eliminate some of those personal fouls. And he did. He had a great game. The defense, the linebackers once again looked outstanding. And, but like I said, it's emotional. I'm up in the press box. I'm on the public address. And heck, I get emotional.
Right.
I may have said a few things I probably shouldn't have, but that's,
Of course you did.
Maybe I've earned 1 or 2 of those. I don't know. But
well, I'll tell you this.
We're hometown.
You mentioned about Tyson. That's the thing about him, man. He's a kid that's going hard, and it's not that he's intentionally going after the whistle, but he's always the one that's caught in that bang bang situation because he goes up until the whistle.
He does.
He doesn't loaf. You're not gonna catch him loafing. So because he goes up until he hears the whistle, he just gets caught in situations sometimes.
He does. That motor running one nonstop, and he's sideline to sideline.
And I prefer to keep the motor going. If he's gonna play at a high level and they got to know where he is. He makes a lot of stuff happen for us up front. He takes some of the double teams off of Mello Smith. Right. So they can't just focus on double teaming him. They got to kind of figure it out, and they got to scheme how they want to do it. And you can't double them both.
Right.
So it opens up, opportunities for some of my other guys to get one-on-one matchups, and we can win those up front.
We can, and the offensive line, like we said in the second half, we had such balance, with Joshua hitting, Blue and of course Cam Shanks, which is continues to be a phenom in my opinion, one of the best I've seen at Prattville in 35 years at wide receiver. It's a game. We missed the field goal. Their kicker, he kind of reminded me of my nephew last year for us, Colin. He's strong leg. He was accurate, and he made all of his kicks. Yeah. And
very talented.
Very talented. They had a very talented team. They were well coached and disciplined, and but that's part of it. We're in 7A, and I'll argue with anybody. We're in the toughest area in the state of Alabama. You look what we've had to play so far. Who we're playing this coming Friday. How many areas? We got everybody's in the top 5. It seems like every week whoever we're playing, and it's tough. It's a tough road, but our guys never quit. And that says a lot about you and your coaching staff, and have you instilled that no quit mentality, and to see like Josh coming off the bench and giving 110 for his team was really inspirational. I know the guys rallied around him, and it was good to see that.
Well, so. I tell you, coming back from halftime, that was the message that I had at halftime, and that the coaches were talking to our guys about. Let's win possessions. Let's forget about the overall second half and that we got 24 minutes left. Let's not worry about that. Let's go out and win possessions. And once we won 2 possessions, stopped them for 2 possessions and put points on the board, just like that, it's 27-14.
It was.
And then, then we won another possession. Now it's 27-21. And then, of course, they make a play in the end zone, in which it was a tremendous play that kid made. He went up and made a one-hand catch. I can't take anything from him on that. But,
no.
Then once again, we go back and win another possession and another. So that's what it was all about in the second half, coming back and winning possessions and putting points on the board and trying to keep our defense on our positive side of the field and not our negative.
Right. We came out in the third quarter, that opening drive, took it down the field and scored. And then we had the 3 and out, scored again, and crowds into it now. It's one of those games where, Auburn's fortunate we didn't have an additional 5 minutes on that clock, is the way I see it. Because at that point, they were spent. Our guys were just coming at them. And, but, hey, that's football.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. You got to overcome adversity. talk about adversity all the time. Stuff's going to happen. It's all about how you respond to it. And our guys responded in a way that made us proud.
Well, we got to put that behind us. The 24-hour rule is in effect or whatever, so we'll get ready. We got a big one coming up this Friday, a huge one coming up this Friday, but we also, before we get into that, we have a couple of guests, and we're going to listen to Dixie Country, and we're going to take a break, and we'll be right back.
We'll be back right after this on the J.B. Wallace Show.
50 years, the river region has depended on Arrow Pest Control, which has grown to be one of the largest and most respected pest control science leaders in the area. Pest control is a science that eliminates pests that invade and potentially damage your property. They use only the top-rated pest control products, including the Centricon termite colony elimination system. Arrow Pest Control was built on customer service and satisfaction, and that's still #1 today. Call us 334-365-4610 and find out about mosquito control. Arrow, your best shot for pest control.
Hear that? That's the plumpest, juiciest hot dogs you've ever seen getting their grill on. But we both know what'll make it sound even better. Oh yeah, it's a Pepsi to go with your hot dog. Because when you're chomping on America's favorite meal, relish, mustard, and onions perfectly blending into a crisp...
Do your ribs rock? Like slap your daddy rock? Rock's Famous Barbecue across from Baptist Hospital on South Memorial Drive in Prattville has the most amazing barbecue in the region. And the service is almost as good as the amazing food. Check out the menu online at rocksfamousbbq.com. Phone 224-8903 for takeout or dine in, Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. If your barbecue pork and chicken ain't rocking, you ain't been to Rock's Famous Barbecue, South Memorial Drive, Prattville.
For well over 50 years, the river region has depended on Arrow Pest Control, which has grown to be one of the largest and most respected pest control science leaders in the area. Pest control is a science that eliminates pests that invade and potentially damage your property. They use only the top-rated pest control products, including the Centricon termite colony elimination system. Arrow Pest Control was built on customer service and satisfaction, and that's still #1 today. Call us 334-365-4610 and find out about mosquito control. Arrow, your best shot for pest control.
That makes payments affordable.
Perfect. I guess stylists really can fix everything.
Connect with Guardian for all your lending needs. Federally insured by NCUA, Equal Housing Opportunity, NMLS number 912757.
Hey, welcome back, everybody. We're here at the J.B. Wallace Show talking some football, and about to segue into some track in just a minute. We're up here at Rock's Famous Barbecue. Come by and see us. From what I understand, their hidden secret's a hamburger. I was told by Will Barrett today they have the best hamburger in Prattville. So come get you one of those, get you a rack, get you some barbecue, and come up here and enjoy everything smells good, all the wonderful food. So, but anyway, I'm sitting here with Coach Wallace, and but we do have a guest with us. I remember this young man, because I'm an old man, from back in his day as a Prattville Lion on our basketball program. He was part of our Final Four team back in 1998, Coach Tony Brown. He has now come home, and now he's heading up our track program. So, Tony, how you doing?
I'm feeling great, man. It's good to be home.
I know we're glad to have you home. Well, what's track look like this coming season? How's the team looking? Don't mention the track, because we know what the track itself looks like, but tell us about the athletes.
Well, like I said, it's good to be home, to be a part of the track program at Prattville High School. Just to be a part of anything at Prattville High School, man, it's a blessing, man, to give back to my alumni. And the place I really love, this community, it's the best all over the world. So, but the track program is looking great. Matter of fact, we have tryouts this Saturday, and I'm expecting at least 75 athletes to come out, and so that's like the biggest turnout that we ever had at Prattville High School. And the players that we already have, the resilience they have, man, conditioning, 7th period, that's my varsity athletics, and we conditioning, like each week they get faster and faster. I implemented workouts with the weights, some techniques on how to run, what to do, and things like that, and they are implemented. And like I said, each week I time them, and every week they're getting faster and faster. So I must say that so far the track program is looking pretty good.
Now, my knowledge of track is mostly the Olympics, and the long distance I get, the cross country, but the main event sport to me are the sprints and the relays, and I know that Coach Wallace has a lot of speed on his team, and I assume some of those guys are participating.
Oh yeah, I have a lot of football players come up to me during schools like, Coach, winter trials, we want to run track, and which I think is a great opportunity for the guys that does other sports. They should run track, especially football, so they can stay healthy, they can stay conditioned, and get them ready for the next level. Track is, the best program for them to get into other than football, even basketball. I remember when we played basketball, our coach, Coach Mohon, he was a basketball coach and also the cross-country coach. So
I know he wasn't winning any sprints back then.
So. No sprints, but our basketball team was also the cross-country team. And so I think that's probably played one of the big parts of us making it to the Final Four that 98 year.
Yeah, y'all are so conditioned because y'all press people and and wore people out. I can remember the kid from Jeff Davis who went to Alabama, Brian Williams, played point guard there. I remember we playing them.
Oh yeah. That
come second half, he could barely cross the timeline. He was wore out, and so that's something to look forward to. And well, speaking of speed and track, when I was coming along, we had Coach Harper. For you young people out there, that's Roman Harper's father.
Yeah.
He was there, and he could still outrun everybody on the track team.
Yeah.
Heck, he probably still could now. But now, you got Justin Thomas.
Oh, yeah.
And Smooth hitting out. He's probably in top 3, I can remember, at Prattville High School as far as, match up some of the guys against Justin and see how well they do, because that cat could flat fly back in the day.
He's number 2.
Yeah.
The holds a record in Prattville High School.
Is that right?
The second one, in the 100.
And I think I was first.
You
said the 100.
Yeah.
I was talking about
I
thought you were talking about the 10.
Yeah, not the 10.
Okay, I was tough for those first 10 yards, but he Stacy Mills, I think, holds the record. So Stacy won, and me too, and then I guess JT.
I got to research that.
But it's like you said, it is great conditioning for our athletes.
Oh yeah.
It's exciting. I had kids, back that I helped coach through other sports as I was growing up. One of the guys who was on my son's high school baseball team with Coach Hall was Garner Phillips.
Okay.
And Garner was cross country. He was a tremendous athlete, really fast. But Garner's one of those kids growing up, you just see him running around Prattville.
Yeah.
I mean, he just ran everywhere. He was like Forrest Gump. Everywhere you saw him, he was just running. But so he got in the high school, and I figured Garner would done some sprints, but he was one of the top 5 cross country kids.
Oh yeah.
That we had. So, and I know the shot put and all that stuff still goes. And you can get those big offensive linemen out there slinging balls.
They're coming out too.
Exactly. That's what we got to get. I look forward to the football guys coming and being part of that track program because it does so much for us.
Yeah.
You talk about training long level speed, that 100-yard speed, that definitely is something we need. And then we got a couple guys that could spare especially some of those linemen can spare lose a little weight and this, that, and the other. So, being involved with that, it helps us out big time.
Yeah, put those guys out there. So, that can all tie in.
Coach, I got a question for you. Of course, Robert was joking about the track when we first came on, and we all know about
I wasn't joking.
Well, we all know the conditions of the track facilities at Prattville. So, but tell us how you work around that. I mean, what do you have to do to work around having absolutely no track facilities whatsoever?
Well, we still use the track, and matter of fact, it's an advantage because the track is actually longer than the actual tracks at a track meet. So it's kind of an advantage for my guys. You know what I'm saying? So when track meets come, their track are shorter and shorter time. So we still use it. We run around the grass.
I was going to say,
well, we were joking about that. Another joke during the break. Coach Wallace said, he told back in his day, it's the greenest grass on up here. It's on that track.
Greenest grass and the greenest trees.
Well, I tell you, and I'm sure Coach Brown, learn this if he don't know it yet. Just with the amount of volume that he's going to have to run to get his guys and girls in track shape when track season gets here. those shin splints can be kind of rough, especially when you have a kid running their fastest at the time. They're running at the peak of their time of that year.
Yes,
So,
sir.
you just had to get them on that practice field, the football field a little bit, take some of that pressure off of them.
That's right.
As far as running on that concrete.
Yeah, I've joked with Coach Wallace before. I said, that's the exact same surface I blazed a 6'1" 40 on.
I think I skinned my knee a couple times running my 10, but But,
We all ran the same track.
But we all know we need to update those facilities.
That's what's amazing is everybody
It's still there.
has been on that same track.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's that same track. The baseball field has come a long way since my day, but our facilities up there, as we need help. This is my shameless plug to vote yes on November the 8th for the tax for our kids and our teachers and our schools.
Sure.
We need it, folks. Our kids and our teachers and our coaches, need these funds for our facilities and so we can keep up what other people are doing in our state. I mean, there's a reason that they're not sitting at the bottom of the barrel as far as funding for 7A schools, and currently we are, but hopefully we're going to change that on November the 8th.
Okay.
But no,
exciting.
yeah, it's exciting. But I like the idea to get some of those offensive linemen, maybe a couple of those defensive linemen out there.
Yeah. Well, we actually have an offensive lineman, Clayton Bowrider, that does, he participates. Now, I don't know, Coach Brown, if he's going to be able to run that 800 this year. He put on about 40. But he said he's going to participate, so maybe he'll throw the shot put in the distance.
shot put. Going to put in the shot put. Strong guy.
Well,
I'm excited, man.
You get them in that dirt and get them moving out. Are you male and female, or
male and female.
So Erica's not doing.
No.
Okay, so
I have Jessica Session. She's my assistant. She coached at Stanhope. She coached track there, so she's a great fit for it. So like I said, I'm excited. It's my first year coaching track. But like I said, I ran track, I ran cross country, so I know what I'm talking about, and I'm excited. I'm excited for the future of Prattville High School track and field team.
So who are some of the stars that you're looking for from your team to be the big performers for us?
Ooh, we got a new kid that transferred over. His name is Zacharian Smith. Earlier this year, we did conditioning 7 period. He ran a 4.240.
Woo.
That's smoking.
4.240. So, hey.
What grade is this young man in?
He's a senior. I know, right?
Always.
I know, right? Another one, Kevin Lewis. He just got 2 offers from 2 colleges. So, Kevin Lewis, who was Dalen Coach Dubois. Her sons, and a couple females, Victoria Rollins and Zoe Love. I want to call it Ariana Vaughn and Jada Shear. Yeah, just come out and watch us.
Well, tell the folks when's the first meet so they can come see you guys.
Well, the first meet so far is March the 21st, but we'll be in Thompson.
At Thompson.
Imagine that.
Man, those facilities up there, I'm going to let it go for right now, but we're working that way.
Well, I told my team today, I said, look, the first meet's at Thompson. I said, once you get to Thompson, that's our future. That's what our school going to look similar to that.
Boy, I hope you're right. I tell you what, it's something. No, we're on the city end. We're doing all we can at the stadium. Speaking, those tier projects are underway. We had the actual opening at Pratt Park today.
Okay.
And we probably had 100 or so kids down there, eyes wide open, just ready to open that gate and they come flooding in.
Now, of course, we want our own facility right now, but how much are y'all going to utilize, or how many meets and stuff do you use at the Wetumpka facility, which has been raved about from a lot of people?
We only do like 2 meets.
That's their track at their football facility.
It's it's new, just like the football stadium.
Oh, yeah.
And I know they're
beautiful.
Coach Wallace has told me how many people have pile into that place for track meets all the time.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, they pack it out on Saturdays. I've been last year. My son ran track, and just going there. I mean, you got at least 15, 20 teams there.
Wow.
So with what it costs to participate in the track meet, I mean, I can imagine they're doing very well there, especially with concessions and all that.
Oh yeah.
Well, you got to buy a ticket. You got to park. I mean, that's revenue.
Oh yeah. That's what I'm looking forward to at Prattville High.
I know you are.
Well, hey, one more thing before we go to this next break. Just got a message from Coach Pittman wanting to let everybody know that the hit-a-thon has been moved until Tuesday, this coming Tuesday night. They were scheduled this past Tuesday, and weather came in. And I think there's a special challenge involving Coach Wallace. Is that correct?
It is. It is. Coach Fisher, he's called me out. So we kind of have a competition going against each other now. No excuses. But he's been in the batting cage about every day, and he's been doing push-ups.
Oh, I noticed. He's doing this during football season.
He's slick now. I know. I've gotten wind of what he's been doing.
Yeah, well, Coach Hall's here. Maybe get a few pointers from him.
Oh yeah, well that's who I'm taking my batting lessons from. Coach Hall's gonna probably work with me, so I'll be prepared for him by Tuesday.
Yeah,
exciting. Well, Tony, thank you. It's great to see you, young man.
Always great to see
so glad we're excited about all the speed and the strength coming up for our track team, and looking forward to the spring sports. And great things are on the horizon for Prattville High School athletics.
Yes, sir.
So we're going to take a break. Is that right, Stacy?
Yes.
All right, you're here on Dixie 100.1 FM.
If you're looking for a car with high gas mileage, we've got them here.
Durbin Auto Parts on South Memorial Drive is proud to be a supporter of Prattville Lions Athletics. As your locally owned CarQuest dealer, the Durbin family assures you that they'll get the right parts the first time. They also carry the full line of steel power equipment and die-hard batteries. When you do business with Durbin Auto Parts, your money stays in Prattville so they can support the local community and great programs like Prattville Lions Athletics. Durbin Auto Parts, 948 South Memorial Drive, Prattville.
Think local. Think of all the skill and talent found right here in our community. Hands that build, hands that feed, teach, protect, and hands that heal. Guardian Credit Union reaches out to people just like you. Handling loans for new cars, opening doors to new homes, saying yes to fun and adventure. When you need a strong, steady financial hand, think local. Think Guardian.
You fired up the grill for one hot dog? Seriously?
Hot dogs, better with Pepsi.
Hun, those ribs ready?
No. Ribs, better with Pepsi.
It's a long pass down the amazing aisles at Prattville Pickers. It's a great catch, showing thousands of incredible treasures. It's the biggest lineup of rustic wood furniture at the Depot Furniture Gallery. It's the national champion of antiques, collectibles, treasures. The Depot Furniture Gallery at Prattville Pickers. A winning combination for home, lifestyle, and recreation. Don't let the game clock run out before you make a winning catch at Prattville Pickers. Highway 82 West. Shop PrattvillePickers.com and Facebook.
Hey, we're back to the J.B. Wallace Show. I'm Robert Strichick, your host this evening, and we're up here at Rock's Famous Barbecue. Come on by and get some good ribs, barbecue pulled pork, and from what I understand, the best hamburger in Prattville. So that's Will Barrett's. That's his.
Hey, my go-to is the rib tips.
The rib tips, which I may be taking some of those on the way out, put them in my pocket or something. I don't know.
Well, I'm a wing guy. I can't get past the wings. And
the wings? See, y'all, this is dinner time in a barbecue place. You're killing us.
Hey,
you're killing us.
When it's a block from the
radio
Prattville Live headquarters.
That's right.
I've sampled pretty much everything in this place.
Yeah, it smells fantastic. I know.
Customer.
I've eaten here a few times, and I can't. My wife's gonna let me bring something home. I'm pretty sure of it. Well, back to what we've been talking about. We had Coach Brown with us earlier, and Coach Wallace and I talked about the Auburn game, and we're moving forward. But we talked about that second half, Coach, and once our other Cam, Richard, once he went down, Joshua Browder comes in, and the kids responded well. We come out with our hair on fire to start the second half. He hits Cam on the slant, and next thing you know, we're back in the game.
Right.
So.
Right. Well,
I'm going to let you talk about this young man.
Right. Well, I'll tell you this. A lot of the success, when it comes to offense and all that is about how you operate the offense. And when Joshua came in, on Friday night, he stepped in with confidence. He understands the offense well, but he understands how to operate that offense, and that's what we did. And we were able to take advantage of some of the things that Auburn struggled at stopping, and Josh didn't hesitate to do so. So, but he definitely is deserving of this week's Pepsi Buffalo Rock Player of the Game. And Josh Browder, like I say, I say a few things about him: hard worker, very consistent young man, great character. All those things, all those qualities that you would want in your quarterback. He has all those qualities, so I've been proud of him.
Well, Josh, your turn. You got the call. You came out of the bullpen, and, you brought us back. So what was your mindset when Coach looked and said, hey, put your helmet on, let's go?
I would just take one play at a time, as he said. Our coaches said, take one play at a time, chip at each possession, win every possession, every down, and just play as a team and together.
Yeah, and they did. You had a lot of KJ and Cam, and of course Amari in the backfield. I mean, when a quarterback's surrounded by that type of talent and athletes, I think it settles you. And the offensive line is gelled, so the way you were moving the ball and took command of that team was very impressive. And so, how's practice been for you this week now that you've gotten all that?
It's been good, just getting ready for tomorrow. We know we got to run the ball well and execute, play as a team and everything.
Yeah, it's a good team. Well, you've been around the program for some time, and you're a senior now. And what are your plans for after high school?
Play college ball.
You got anybody who's a favorite, or?
I got 2 offers right now from Mississippi Prep and Kentucky Christian University.
Okay. Well, we'll look forward to seeing another Prattville Lion head out into the real world and doing us right and making us proud. I've been watching you play, and your tenacity and you never give up spirit is something I think that the team has picked up on, and I appreciate you as an athlete and sticking through the hard times and the good times. That tells a lot about what type of person you is outside of athletics.
Well, I'll tell you this. I don't think anyone had any idea of the events that would take place last week. But before the game, I left him with a message to stay ready so he don't have to get ready. You remember that?
Yes, sir.
And had no idea what was going to take place. And, but that's just the message that he and I shared with each other. And that's exactly what he said. He said, yes, sir. And then, a couple of hours after that, his number's called, and he has to go out and perform. And it shows you a lot about, what he's been up to for the last few weeks. He hadn't tanked it. He hadn't given up. He's been working. I mean, he's an athlete. That's what you got to do. You got to work at your craft and continue to improve.
That's right. And it's every day. It's in every sport. And, you came in the Jeff Davis game, the Lee game over at Crampton Bowl, through the beautiful pass right down the middle for a touchdown, moved the offense real well over at Crampton Bowl against Lee. Continued the success against a extremely talented Auburn team. And now we got a extremely talented Central Phoenix City team coming up on the road. So, my advice to you is, the last time I played quarterback was for the Cats in junior high. And they said, why don't you try baseball? So, what is your mindset going on the road in a big stadium, large crowd, loud crowd? How do you focus in on what your job is on the road?
Well, just since we're in a different crowd, just take one play at a time. And like last week, win every possession, win every down, and just play as a team.
Yep, that's the mindset.
That's the mindset. You got to chop that wood.
You got to chop that wood.
You got to chop the wood, and that's what it's all about. If we worry about the fourth quarter and the first quarter, that's when you get in trouble. Let's worry about that possession, and let's execute at a high level at that possession, and that goes for both sides of the ball.
Yeah, and to me, the quarterback, I always kind of compare it to like a pitcher in baseball. You got to next play, next pitch, next play, good or bad, next play. And you got to have that mentality, and that's what your team feeds off of.
I mean, he's got to definitely be in the moment. One thing I know about Coach Moncrief, and definitely Coach Lee as well, they're always going to stay a couple of plays ahead in their mind. They're always ahead of the game. So, we kind of have coaches that are responsible for keeping them in the know of where they are right now. But those coordinators are always thinking 2 or 3 plays ahead, maybe setting something up for this. And so, for Josh to come in and operate the offense, he's definitely got to be in the moment. Definitely got to, work on moving the sticks. That's the biggest thing. Move the sticks. Let's get a first down, and let's snap it again.
Yeah.
Real quick, I just going to say, Josh, as far as your quarterback coach, of course, legendary Prattville coach Justin Thomas played on the high. He's played on the highest level you can play in college football, and performed at the highest level. How much of an influence has he been on you since he's taken over the quarterback or helping with the quarterbacks?
He's helped me a lot, like learn how to operate the offense. He's been working on me since he got here throughout the summer, get my mechanics right, my technique right, just learn how to play the quarterback position and just learn how to operate the offense.
Have you raced him yet?
I was going to say that. Have you raced him yet?
He said we made a bet earlier in the year.
Wait a minute. Be careful now. What was the bet?
He said he hurt right now, so he said he just had surgery on his leg. So.
Okay, well, I still give him 10 yards. I mean, he could move, and I'm so glad, Quay and Coach Brown even comes in still and helps, and all of our defensive coordinators, our quarterback coaches, our offensive coordinators. These are proper guys. I mean, these are guys who lived it. These guys who've worn the cardinal in white, and they know what it is. They know what it's about. They know the success of this program, and you guys are the new generation. And I'm starting to see more and more every game, every week, more of that Prattville football spirit, that Prattville football look, that tenacity, and that pride. You guys represent more than your team. You represent your school. You represent this community. You represent your parents. And that's one thing I think is special about Prattville that you don't see everywhere you go.
All right, since Chris Britton's not here tonight, I guess I'm gonna have to be the one to ask the burning question that every Pepsi Buffalo Rock Player of the Week has to answer. So you got to answer honestly. What's your relationship status?
We sort of in the middle of that right now.
So if it was on Facebook, it's complicated, right?
It's complicated right now.
Okay.
We're working to get there.
What would her answer be? Never mind.
She'd be saying it's complicated.
Would she say it's complicated too?
Yeah.
Oh, no, she might be fixing to make it easy on them.
I don't know. That's a good thing or bad thing. Well, let's get through Phoenix City before we worry about any of that, all right?
Yeah, sir.
We'll get through that. So,
it's going to.
Yeah. So, anyway, we're going to do this now, or we're going to do when we come back?
You can go on and present it to
All right. Well, Coach, this is your guy.
Yes, sir.
The Pepsi Buffalo Rock and Dixie 100.1 FM Player of the Game is Joshua Browder. And congratulations. Not only do you get this beautiful plaque to hang on your wall, but you're going to get this from Sports Clip. It's a free haircut, MVP haircut. We talked off camera a while ago.
You don't have to get your hair cut. They do the shampoo treatment. They give you a scalp massage. I mean, it's the whole kit and caboodle. It's not just a haircut. So.
Now, if you don't want it, since you and I have our hair looks alike, I go up there with you, and maybe we'll maybe I'll get the shampoo and you can get the hair massage. Well, actually, we may have to swap that around. But then again, it all depends what type of situation you're in, like we talked about just a second ago. So, well, congratulations, young man. You've made your team proud, your community proud, and I know your folks proud. And, it's great to be a Prattville Lion, and thank you for everything.
Thank you.
All right. We're going to take a break, and we'll be back in just a minute here on Dixie 100.1 and FM, the Coach J.B. Wallace Show.
Hello, I'm Ashley Kaiser from Greensboro, Alabama. I'm proud to be a captain.
Do your ribs rock? Like slap your daddy rock? Rock's Famous Barbecue across from Baptist Hospital on South Memorial Drive in Prattville has the most amazing barbecue in the region. And the service is almost as good as the amazing food. Check out the menu online at rocksfamousbbq.com. Phone 224-8903 for takeout or dine in. Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. If your barbecue pork and chicken ain't rocking, you ain't been to Rock's Famous Barbecue, South Memorial Drive, Prattville.
For well over 50 years, the river region has depended on Arrow Pest Control, which has grown to be one of the largest and most respected pest control science leaders in the area. Pest control is a science that eliminates pests that invade and potentially damage your property. They use only the top-rated pest control products, including the Centricon termite colony elimination system. Arrow Pest Control was built on customer service and satisfaction, and that's still #1 today. Call us 334-365-4610 and find out about mosquito control. Arrow, your best shot for pest control.
Before you buy your next new vehicle, visit LarryPuckettChevrolet.com. For the best prices on pre-owned vehicles, visit LarryPuckettChevrolet.com.
I'm Brad at Larry Puckett Chevrolet. To find your next car, truck, or SUV, visit us at LarryPuckettChevrolet.com.
For the best prices and huge inventory, visit LarryPuckettChevrolet.com.
Be sure to like our Larry Puckett Chevrolet Facebook page. Who knows, you could be our next winner.
Save time and save money at LarryPuckettChevrolet.com.
Give me some U.S. farm-raised catfish. Give me some U.S. farm-raised catfish.
I only use U.S. farm-raised catfish.
We've been selling U.S. farm-raised catfish since 1978.
They do have a choice for a good, wholesome, safe fish. We know it's a good product.
Ask for U.S. farm-raised catfish, only the finest, freshest, tastiest. You can taste the difference.
From our farm to your table, your family deserves the best. U.S. farm-raised catfish.
J.B. Wallace Show, Prattville Lion head football coach, and we're up here at Rock's Famous Barbecue, and man, my mouth's watering for those tips and ribs, and I've heard about the hamburger and the pulled pork, and you know, Coach Hall and Coach Wallace, we're going to have a hard time.
Smoked chicken quarter too.
Oh,
Stop. See, I get the
next thing you're going to say banana pudding, and that's it.
I do the rib tip plate, and then I get a chicken quarter to go with it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a hard time getting out of here without taking something to the house. I can tell you that.
Try the wings.
Yeah, the wings. The wings.
So,
the wings are. He's not joking about that.
We've got the Wallace wings.
Yeah.
Okay, we got the Barrett burger. Okay, and then we got the Stacy tip. I'm sure you have something, so I got to find something. And I'm sure the banana pudding's good too. So, anyway, folks, I know you're all hungry now, so drop on by and get some of this barbecue and take some home for the weekend for all your tailgate needs as well. Well, Coach, we've been talking some football, we've talked some spring sports and some track, and now we're going to stay into some spring sports stuff. And young man I'm very familiar with, the head coach of our Prattville baseball program, Coach Kevin Hall. And Coach, welcome in. Glad to have you here. Haven't had a lot to talk to you about since my son graduated about 3 or 4 years ago. He was one of your guys, and my one claim to fame, well, not my claim to fame, but my son Will, he was a sophomore for Coach Hall's first year at Prattville, or back at Prattville. He's one of us, but his first year coaching at Prattville, and Will got your very first win for you on the road at Opelika. Will's on the mound as a sophomore, went 5 innings and got your very first win, and that's something he still talks about today.
Oh, he had a great outing that day.
Yeah,
very great.
And I told him tonight. I talked to him earlier today what we were going to do, and you're one of my guests, and he's like, tell him I said hi, but he still gets a little nervous when he talks about you. He's like, well, I don't want to look him in the eye, Dad. I'm saying, well, you just say he's a senior at Auburn, so he's growing up. Well, Coach, let's talk some baseball. I mean, last year area title and just so much talent, and untypical for us in the last 3 or 4 years. We hit with the long ball. We had some guys who could rake, and we hit a lot of home runs. But we've lost some. The Hall brothers have moved on. The young man from Montana,
Big Hoss
has moved on.
Travis Stoddard.
I know Slade. So we lost a lot of power. So how are we looking with that coming up?
This year's group's got a lot of speed. We're not going to hit a bunch of balls out of the ballpark.
Oh, no, man, that was fun. That was fun calling all those. But hey, just as the runs get on there by foot or by the long ball, just so the runs get on there.
So we'll go back like the BB and Garner days where we played the small ball.
Yes. That'll be primarily what we're going to have to do because it's I guess one of the greenest groups since my first year, just not a lot of experience on the varsity. We got a couple of guys that played a good bit last year, but majority of the team, this will be their first rodeo. So.
Well, that speaks well for the future now. That, to me, the key to high school baseball is that starting pitching.
Yes, sir.
How deep are we there?
We're probably as deep as we've ever been on the mound. And like I said, it's just the young kids and how they will adapt from JV ball to varsity ball. But we have 4 to 5 guys that we can run out there right now that I believe that we could handle our own against anybody in the state. We just got to figure out how to offensively
how to put those runs on the board. So get them on, keep them moving. You know, I'm a bunt guy, so teach those kids to bunt. I remember years ago, it was Daphne coming up here in a playoff game, and they bunted us to death. That's when Coach Lammer was here, and those guys, they probably had 6 or 7 hits,
yep,
laying the ball down. So fundamentals.
It is. That's you know, when you ain't got a lot of power, you better be fundamentally sound everywhere else. You know, last year we wasn't very deep at pitching, but we had some guys that could keep us in the game, and we could just outscore people. And that last in the Auburn series, there's a mental edge where we're not the same that we before we get into the game, and then you know once they settle down, things don't go as bad. But right there at the beginning, last year especially, it was hang on because it was going to get ugly pretty quick.
Well, you know, and that's the team. They win it all last year. They went to the championship.
No, they lost to Phoenix City.
That's right. Phoenix City won it.
So
a team that we'd beat.
Yeah. Once again, the two best. We're in a region with we're in the same. We got to go through the 2 best teams in baseball, just like in football.
And I know you hear about the Thompsons and the Hoovers and all they have up north, but once you drop, we Prattville, now Opelika, Phoenix City, Auburn, Enterprise, now Dothan. I mean, it's tough in all of our sports, and
it's very tough to get outside of the South.
It really is, and you know, but you've always put together a competitive team, and that says a lot about you and how the kids work. And I've seen it personally, how the kids work year round, how they work on their fundamentals, their weight training, their stretching, and that's something that you have implemented since you've been here, and it does pay off. Now, I know you said you're young this year, but I think that's where some of those fundamentals and that hard work during the off season will come into play. Some of that long toss, pitchers running. I mean, I remember my son having to run, and complain.
Yeah.
Get back out there, and I gotta go do some long toss. Go do your job.
Yep.
And
that's it. Going to be a lot like that year when Will played. You might get kind of dicey at the beginning until we get into some type of a rhythm.
And you settle in.
Yep.
But that seems to be the Prattville MO anyway. We'll go on we're a threat to go on a 15-game winning streak.
Yeah. We did it too early last year.
Yeah.
There's that thing, but that COVID year, man, that still breaks my heart. We were rocking and rolling, but hey, that's sports. But it's that Auburn thing. It's not an Alabama-Auburn thing. It's an Auburn high school. We're right there at that hump in football. We're at it in baseball. We're about to break through, and once we break through, I think the dams are going to open up for all of our sports, and we're going to get it rolling. And looking forward to that day.
Well, hey, not just in a baseball aspect. Let me tell you what. Pregame the other night against Auburn High School. I'm down there on the sideline. I finally got a chance to get down there and just kind of hang out before the game started. And there's somebody sitting down there, and he's got a notepad on top of notepads, just scouting and going over it. And it's this baseball coach over here. Actually, he's not just a baseball coach. Talk about that, Coach Wallace.
Yeah, he's definitely, man. I when I first met Coach Hall, I knew of him for a long time, but I never met him until I came back in 2018, and we worked on Coach Ross's staff together. And it didn't take me long to realize that this guy is a student of the game. And I respect the work that he's always done. I mean, the effort that he's bringing with baseball, man, this guy brings the same effort to football. And, man, very genuine dude, good guy. We've grown, be very close over the years. And, man, if I don't trust anybody, I trust that guy. And so I asked him to kind of help us out and with some breakdown stuff. And he kind of stays ahead of the game, where we are. And he gives us what he sees, and man, he's always right on. So
yeah, he's a hard worker. He's intense. know he's probably, has the second best hands of any shortstop to play at Prattville after me. No. No.
Hey, but,
let me tell you, back when Coach Hall played, he had the softest hands, and people who are in baseball understand what I'm talking about. He had soft hands in the middle of the infield and was a contact hitter, and he was your prototypical shortstop, and took it up. And he played at Georgia. He played in the SEC, and wow. So we're glad, blessed, and lucky to have you back home.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you, there was a night down in Theodore. I thought we were going to lose them.
Oh, like football game?
Yeah. Well, I had never seen one human being so cold in his in my entire life. I've never seen anybody that cold. The towels that I used to wrap my equipment in, we were wrapping around them trying to keep them warm.
Didn't bring no warm gear, and the temperature dropped like 40 degrees.
It was miserable that night.
Like that night we played baseball in Clanton. One night, I think my son's sophomore year. Everybody had the little heaters out. Oh my goodness! In a baseball, cold. Ooh, that's rough. Hurts those hands. Well, Coach, the lifeline to any of our sports, especially in a county with 10% millage, but I won't get into that anymore. You got to have funding.
Yes.
It takes money to play football, basketball, baseball. I think you have something coming up relatively soon to raise money for our baseball program. Is that right?
Yes, sir. We started a fall festival last year for Halloween. It'll be open from 6 to 10 p.m. It'll have concessions, games. They'll be giving away prizes, haunted maze, a Halloween movie, and a costume contest. So if you can make it, please come out and support us.
And that'll be this Saturday, correct?
That's correct, October 29th. Oh. And they did a good job with it last year, and I think they've made it better this year. So the kids seem to enjoy it.
Yeah, we last year my son got to go to it, and he had a blast in there. They took the entire indoor, the pitching indoor, and turned it into a haunted maze.
Oh, cool!
It was quite, and I'm not talking about. It wasn't like just thrown together. It was quite elaborate.
It was nice. Yeah, my daughter and my son went through there and had a great time. It was a great chance to kind of go out there and get in the holiday atmosphere and all that, especially that haunted maze he's talking about.
And the players got into it so much with the kids. It was amazing to watch how much they interacted with the kids that went through the maze and everything. So
well, we'd like to encourage the community Saturday night. Come entertain the kids with a haunted house, a safe haunted house. It's indoor. Plus, you're supporting our kids in the high school baseball program. Now, you mentioned costumes. Are you dressing up?
Every year I go on a trip. And this happens to fall on my trip because my son, we go to the campground out there by the motor speedway. They have a big Halloween thing. We've been going for like the last 10 years. So
I don't know. That sounds a little too convenient, Coach. What do you think?
Yeah.
Sound like too. You know what his costume is? About 3 electric blankets. That's what his costume is.
Now, there's going to have a Dunkin' booth up there, so I may have to be there for that Dunkin' booth. But our Booster Club and kids do a really, really good job with this. And, the money it's needed.
It is.
We have to have some improvements. And hopefully this can help us make those improvements along with the other stuff.
And Diamond Club is such a great organization.
It is.
They really go the extra mile to take care of the baseball program and the stuff they do. That's a great bunch of people.
They do, and they have in the past. Back in our day with Greg Nichols and he and I, we collaborate on some things, and we got helmets for the kids. We got help with the netting for the kids and scoreboard up improvements. So, these guys need your help, folks. So get out there and support our baseball program. Come out Saturday night. And, Coach, thank you so much for dropping by and being our head baseball coach as well. I know you were an inspiration to my son, and I appreciate everything you do.
Well, I appreciate y'all having me.
All right, we're going to take it out and come back with our final segment right here on the Coach J.B. Wallace Show.
Durbin Auto Parts on South.
Durbin Auto Parts on South Memorial Drive is proud to be a supporter of Prattville Lions Athletics. As your locally owned CarQuest dealer, the Durbin family assures you that they'll get the right parts the first time. They also carry the full line of steel power equipment and die-hard batteries. When you do business with Durbin Auto Parts, your money stays in Prattville so they can support the local community and great programs like Prattville Lions Athletics. Durbin Auto Parts, 948 South Memorial Drive, Prattville.
Think local. Think of all the skill and talent found right here in our community. Hands that build, hands that feed, teach, protect, and hands that heal. Guardian Credit Union reaches out to people just like you. Handling loans for new cars, opening doors to new homes, saying yes to fun and adventure. When you need a strong, steady financial hand, think local. Think Guardian.
You fired up the grill for one hot dog? Seriously?
Hot dogs, better with Pepsi.
Hey, Robert Stritchick here with you. We're back on the J.B. Wallace Coaching Show up here at Rock's Famous Barbecue and enjoying the smells of the barbecue so far, but we're working on getting something, I think. But it's been an interesting show, Coach. We've had some great guests. We talked a little track, some baseball. Josh Browder and his contribution to our team last week. And unfortunately, it doesn't get any easier. We go on the road tomorrow night. We're at Central Phoenix City. They have a great program. I think they're ranked number 2 now in the state. And just athlete after athlete. So what's your thoughts?
Well, you know, they're definitely a talented team. Always have been a talented team, so that's nothing new. You know, this is just what it's about playing in our region. You know, we have big-time game after big-time game, and our guys are accustomed to playing in that type of environment, you know, especially by now. You know, even when we went to Enterprise, and a lot of people don't talk to that. I mean, Enterprise is a good football team, but, you know, similar trip is why I bring it up. You know, we had to get on the road and travel to Enterprise and go with our game day routine when we're away, and we had to perform on the road in a hostile environment. You know, and so we got to do the same here in Central. You know, they have a talented quarterback. He's an athlete. He's a dual threat guy. So he's definitely going to be a point of contact, a point of emphasis. They have 4 good receivers.
Yeah, I know about the English kid.
Yes, the English kid, and then they have 3 others that can go. Number 8, and he's every bit of 6'3", and he's long and rangy.
Wow.
And, you know, very good offensive line. And, you know, their secondary is probably one of the better secondaries we've seen this year. They're long. They can play. They're aggressive. One of them's a Power 5 kid. He's already been offered and all that. So we know we have at stake at this one. You know, this one we got to get. We got to win this one. And I think we've had a real good week, you know, preparing for it.
Well, I know the kids' minds will be right, and I know they'll give it all they have. You guys do a great job of preparing them. So Prattville Lions are on the road tomorrow night, folks. It's another area game. It's a crucial game for our guys, for the Prattville Lions, and get their minds right. Eliminate the mistakes, stay healthy, and just, you know, lay it all on the line every play. You know, hair on fire. So, hey, let's get after them.
Yeah, no doubt. You know, special teams is going to be key as well. You know, we talked about that a lot of times on the show, but this week's been you know, we can't break even this week on special teams. We got to win it. So all that's going to come into play. Great way to end the regular season with an opportunity to head into the postseason.
Well, let's get it done. I have all the confidence in the world, and we'll be ready for the playoffs. So I'm Robert Stritchick here at the J.B. Wallace Show, and we're about to send it up to Tuscaloosa, the head coach.
Yeah, the head coach will be coming on immediately following us. Real quick, Coach, just a couple of the names of the players that we met on the awards this week.
Yeah, we have 2 freshmen won the Money Team Player of the Week. That's Dorset Jackson and Tristan Blackman. They stepped up and done real good. Also, our Soul Revival Powerhouse Player of the Week, that's Whit Rollinson and Mario Parks. Special Teams Player of the Week was Cam Shanks. And those are our Player of the Week.
All right, that'll do it.
All right, thank y'all.
The Coach J.B. Wallace Show has been powered by
See you tomorrow.
Chevrolet, Durbin Auto Parts, Rock's Famous Barbecue, Prattville Outdoors, Aero Pest Control.